Hi, I'm Jim Hessler from Path Forward Leadership, and this is the Ask Me Anything segment. We're doing a series of videos where we pull out frequently asked questions from our 20 years of history as leadership development experts, and also additional questions that come in from you, the audience, and we'd love to hear from you. So one of the most common questions I've heard over the years is, how do I deal with a micromanaging boss? I could do half an hour on this, but let me just give you a couple of tricks. If you feel that your boss is micromanaging you, these are some things you can do to address that behavior without necessarily asking them to change. Now, the number one thing is, don't hide from your micromanaging manager. There's a tendency when you have a micromanaging manager to try to hide from them. I'm actually going to suggest that you do just the opposite. Be more forthcoming, be more sharing, be more cooperative and interactive with them, even to the degree where you don't think that's necessarily helpful to do so, but they do, right? So what I mean in part by that is to be very organized. Your calendar and your to-do list have to be impeccable. If you have a micromanaging boss, you want to be able to show them that you have a plan for the day. You need to show them that you have priorities. You need to show them that you've already thought about what needs to be done. A lot of people who are micromanagers have kind of a control problem, and if they perceive for a minute that you're out of control, they're going to jump into that vacuum and be a pest. So demonstrate to them that you got your act together, that you've got your day planned, and your week planned, and your month planned. The next thing is, make sure that you ask for priorities. Now, this is a common theme that we find in our work, that we often just get a boss who just piles stuff on us, and we get a big full inbox or a ton of emails suggesting that we do this, that, or the other thing. With any boss, especially a micromanaging boss, you have to ask your boss to set priorities. So, of all the things that I have on my plate, Mr. or Mrs. Boss, what's the most important thing? What should I do first? What should I do second? And that will help you from getting pestered, frankly, about the things that aren't on that priority list, because you can say, I'm working on what we discussed, I'm working on what you identified as the top priorities. I would also schedule interactions with a micromanaging boss. I would not leave it up to chance interactions in the hallway or in the conference rooms. I would say, let's meet for a stand-up meeting, or let's meet for a daily meeting or a weekly meeting, and schedule that so that you can be proactive with your boss and not wait for them to come into your space and interrupt what you're doing. So be scheduled and be diligent and consistent with those scheduling. And then the last thing I would suggest for you to do with a micromanaging boss is just always ask a lot of questions. So if your boss is hovering, for example, they're looking over your shoulder, a good question is there something you're looking for? Is there something I can help you with? Is there something that you're concerned about that I should know? And just ask questions. If you see them kind of looking over your shoulder, which is kind of the classic micromanaging behavior, just make sure that they know that you notice that, and then ask them what they're looking for, what they need, what they're not sure about, and try to provide that for them as best you can. So be very proactive, and again, don't hide from your micromanaging boss. Do the opposite. Put everything out in front of both of you that you can, and I think you'll see that micromanaging behavior might diminish, and they'll become better managers, and you'll be happier too. So it's a win-win. So we'd love to hear your questions. Ask me anything. Send us an email, respond to this video, and be part of the conversation. We'd love to have one of your questions come up in one of our future videos. Thanks very much.